of the activities our organization has been undertaking and the projections for the future for 2015. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Richard.
We also have Mr. Patrick Atwanya, who's a senior analyst, in-house senior analyst with us.
Welcome.
All right. So what's going on with NOI?
Okay, NOI polls is number one for credible polling services across the West African region. So all we do is just gather the opinions of Nigerians and report it in a manner that it makes sense to decision makers, to policy makers, to business owners, where they can actually then take strategic decisions because of that data. Nigeria doesn't have a lot of data, and all we want to do is provide as much data that can support editorials, support something like Business Day to write, editorials round about socio-economic issues. So that's all NOI polls is, just a data engine supplying information on Nigeria, changing the narrative on Nigeria, and the issues and the different things that affect Nigeria.
Okay, you just said something about changing the narrative on the issues affecting Nigeria. We find that the elections, 2015 elections, are just around the corner. We have just 3 months to go. What are your projections? What are the economic projections that your organization can make for the economy as well?
Okay, so with the elections, we have what we call Journey to 2015 elections, and all we've been doing since January, every 2 months, is release information on voters' behavior, voters' patterns, voting patterns, candidacy viability, and also if Nigerians think that INEC will have a free and fair election. So I'll start with the issue with regards to voting patterns. So Nigerians will vote for a person and not a party.
Okay.
So majority of Nigerians say we will vote for a person and rather than a party. So you have those that say we'll vote for a person, vote for a party, we'll vote for anyone, that sort of thing. Then also what we notice in terms of voting behavior is that a percentage of Nigerians are ready to take money as a bribe, and that would affect their voting. Yeah, so that's voting behavior. So when we asked, would you take a gift, majority said yes, or a certain percentage said yes. And when we asked what kind of gift, the younger generation said they will take money, and that can change the way they think or the way they would vote. Then we did the candidate viability, which looked at the viability of potential candidates for the presidential elections. And of course, the incumbent was the most viable, followed by Babatunde Fashola and then Rochas Okorocha. So all what we do around elections is just trying to test the waters. Nigerians believe that INEC will hold a free and fair election. But they think that that will be dependent on if INEC remains independent of any person and unbiased. Then we'll have a free and fair election. So that's really what the Nigerians are thinking around about elections and the way to elections. Personally, Nigerians, now on the economic side, Nigerians are not happy about their personal economic situation. They believe it can be better. And then this is measured by what we call the Personal Wellbeing Index, which we do every month, and the Consumer Confidence Index. So these 2 indices show that Nigerians are hopeful, but in the present tense, they're not too happy about their conditions.
Okay, just for the record, the bit about Nigerians wants to take money is actually a hint on the stomach infrastructure saga that's been going around, just so you know. Patrick, do you have any questions?
Yes, the polling on the elections, is it a rolling poll? Do you have a way to get like a tracking poll of the 2 top candidates so that if one dips, you can track that person and find out what is going on?
No, it's not a rolling poll. We tend to, at the point that the parties have finished their primaries and their presidential candidates are put forward, then we start measuring what Nigerians and who Nigerians would vote for and why they would vote for the person. So it's not a rolling poll, but we want to do another candidate viability poll nearer to before the primaries are done, where we're now pretty sure, okay, these are all people that have picked the ticket and about to go into the primaries for that.
Yeah. You were once quoted as saying that you think that Nigerians are they have too high expectations from their leaders. What did you mean by that?
In terms of expectations, we do look at the approval ratings of the president every month. And I think that the key thing that Nigerians are looking for to be sorting out the security issue But in terms of their own personal economic situation, they are hopeful that it will get better. And that always pushes up the consumer confidence index. Because Nigerians are saying, oh, okay, I'm not happy about where I am now, but I'm hopeful. And we tie that to the religion religion indicator on the personal well-being index, where Nigerians consistently have reached 73% and are more than satisfied with their religious status. So I think religion pushes a lot of things in Nigeria. It makes a lot of people hopeful. And I think because it's not well balanced, the truth is that most people, even though a leader or a political party may not be doing as well as we expect them to do, the hope factor, which is tied to religion, always just, pushes up perception.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We've got so much more to say about the elections and more. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. We still have Ms. Oge from Olamordi with us, the MD CEO of NY Polls, speaking to us about the elections and so much more.
All right. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All the way from Abuja. I was going to ask, how do you get the people you talk to? Like, how easy? What medium do you use? And what is the level of call it plus or minus? There's always a gap. How accurate margin of error in your polling.
Okay, so we have a polling. We call it the NOPC, NY Polls Opinion Polling Center, and we have 50 analysts. So it's a call center. We have 50 analysts working the phones every single day. Every day, we're expected to make over 2,000 completed calls. Completed means it's a positive response. So that means people have picked up, gone through the questionnaire with you, answered every single one that has been put in there.
Now, I just ask,
yes.
who make the calls?
Yes, the journalists, the junior analysts make the calls. So we have 50 junior analysts working in the call center. So we have set up a call center in Abuja. And we have 50 people there making calls. We have access to over 70 million telephone numbers.
Wow.
And this is where the computer pulls this randomly and sends it to the 50 people making the call.
How did you get that database though?
Now, we have what you call permutation. There's a software that allows you to create numbers under the different, what you call operators. So what you're calling blind, so that at the end of your call, that you can then stratify according to state, according to local government area, according to gender, age, and occupation. We only call the adult population. So we have a sampling universe of 87.5 million Nigerians. That's 18 plus and above. And so that's the call. And then when these calls are being made, we speak in 5 languages: Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Pidgin English, and English. Because you must translate the questionnaire, and everybody must be able to be given a fair chance to answer. So if you call, let's say, the Southeast, you should be able to give that questionnaire in both Igbo, Pidgin English, or English.
Now, and I try to cut in.
Yeah.
And Nigerians are patient enough to actually go through with you on these calls, because I always see Nigerians are always being very busy, and if someone calls them, it's not about making money or something beneficial to them, they'll just hang up.
Well, response rate gets better when they talk about things. So, for instance, we monitor power every month. So on the power one, we have 70% response rate because most Nigerians want to talk about power. On polls that people are not particularly interested to, you make up to 8,000 calls to get just 1,000 completed calls. Because most people either tell you, how did you get my number? Don't you ever call me again? Or you have people that say, I'm not interested, or halfway through, they don't want to talk again. Or you have women who say, halfway through, their husband's coming, and the husband says, why are you on the phone with them? They're trying to explain, okay, it's a video call. And they say, no, it becomes a problem. So you have the polls that have the better response rates. You have those as low as 20%, 30% response rate. So you call, you make more calls. But that's why we keep trying to push, the awareness about NOI polls. When people call you and they say, we're coming from NOI polls, you understand that people really just want to understand what your thoughts, opinions are about certain things.
Okay, with the World Economic Forum constantly reeling out data saying that Nigeria is slipping down the slope in terms of either welfare or industrialization, infrastructural development. Do you think this, how do you think, from your assessment, how
ask him, how do you feel? They could say, what they've shown in our indicators is that we're not too happy about our current economic. However, we believe it will get better.
Okay.
So I'm not too happy, I'm below 50, so it's running at 43. But I believe it will get better. It's running at 63, 83%.
Okay.
So their thoughts are, I may not be good now, but I know tomorrow holds promise for me. So that's really their thought about it. So that changes the narrative that we keep getting from the World Bank. And that's what someone is saying, look, 2 out of 3 people in Nigeria are in absolute poverty. That's not correct.
Okay.
Because the truth is that when you ask a man, are you poor? Most people are not living under $1 a day. I mean, we did that study. It was about 10% of Nigerians who live below $1 a day. So
I think the World Bank has reviewed it, it's about 30% now.
30%, exactly. Because we have assessed, and we know it's 10% of $1 a day. I think the key things Nigerians, feel concerned about is education, health, security. So when you're asking people, are you poor? What they're thinking is, I'm so poor that maybe my wife died at childbirth. I'm so poor that I couldn't take my son. Malaria killed my son. So malaria is killing more people, in Africa than Ebola has. HIV is killing more people. So it's really a health issue, it's really an education issue that people will consider as poverty, and not that I can't eat. So I think that's generally our feel in terms of what the poor man has said, or what the average Nigerian has said. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the margin of error question.
Plus or minus 3% with 95% confidence that if you do the same survey the same way we've done, 95 out of 100 times you get the same truth.
That means you're thorough.
We're very thorough.
They're very thorough. All right, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That's it on Insight. See you next time.